Welcome back to the Stoop Football fans. It's your boy Lolo here on another Friday night. Sorry we haven't been around the past couple of weeks. I was flying all over the place. I was in Boston, New York, Miami. I was with Mark a couple times, which was fantastic. But we are back. It has just been one incredible week to be an Arsenal fan. I have to say, things feel very strange. So I'm going to do what I do on a normal Friday night and crack a beer open with y'all.
And me.
And Director John. Cheers to you.
Happy
I'm having
Thanksgiving.
Mao IPA. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our American friends and anybody who celebrates.
I'm drinking your Modelo's.
I'm sure they'll have more.
Yeah.
Good evening to everybody who's in the chat. Anders, of course, was first. John Lufgarside and Jimmy Bremer's Ghost. Very good to see you guys in there. So let's get started talking some football. I know you guys are some Leeds United fans in the comment section right now, but you know me. I got to talk about Arsenal. It's been one hell of a week. We had a long international break. It felt long. Felt like it took forever, but it was a good time for Arsenal players to get healthy, for Odegaard to come back, Martinelli to come back, Madueke to come back. Bad for Gabriel Magalhaes, or however we say it, our big number 6 who went down with Brazil, unfortunately. But we had a North London derby and a first start for Piero Hincapié, the dude from Ecuador, who was fantastic, who slotted in fantastic. That match, North London derby, it's for an Arsenal player, an Arsenal fan. It's one of the biggest of the year, of course. Even though I love that, even though it hasn't mattered as much in these years gone past as it has in certain years, but there was just a gulf in class, and it's to the point where people stopped praising Arsenal for doing well and started talking about how bad Tottenham were and how wrong Thomas Frank got it. But we just got to say, Arsenal, fantastic performance there. And then we go midweek to Bayern, the two best teams in Europe by their records. Bayern Munich hadn't lost at all this season in any competition. They only have one draw. And we handled them. We looked better than they did. They played very well, but we came at them in a way that they weren't used to. They're not used to teams locking down Harry Kane. Harry Kane this is probably one of his best seasons ever so far, if he keeps this up. But he is playing fantastic football, and I hate saying that because he's Tottenham through and through. But we locked him down, and he could do nothing. The only time he got on the ball was way over near their own box. That's how far back he had to drop. So besides that one ball over the top that caught us sleeping, and I think Miles Lewis-Skelly did not have his best game. I think it has a lot to do with his youth as well as his lack of playing time. Then coming into this big, massive match, down to his youths. But then he comes into this match and he's trying to prove himself, and he's trying to show everybody that he deserves to have that starting spot on a daily basis, the spot that he thought he had won last season. And so he comes in and he was trying to work a little too hard. That pushed him slightly out of the very controlled structure that Arsenal has, which meant he wasn't effective going forward, yet he was still not in the correct positions to cover his man going back. And he got exploited that one time with a beautiful touch pass from Kimmich, crossfield, beautiful touch from Gnabry, great cross, first time finish from that boy Carl. I was at the bar here in Madrid with a bunch of Arsenal fans. Big up to the Arsenal supporters, to our WhatsApp group that we got going on. But in the room were all these Bayern fans as well. We went crazy for the first goal. That goal goes in. They go insane. And all I could do was stand up and go, that was a hell of a goal. That was a hell of a goal. But then second half comes out. Second half, we come out and we just dominated them. We didn't give them 2 seconds on the ball. They were overwhelmed. And then we still couldn't break through. We had so many chances, so many opportunities, and we still couldn't break through. Mikel Arteta benches Bukayo Saka, pulls Bukayo Saka while we're still level 1-1. Everybody's thinking, this man's insane. What is he doing? And even the commentators were like, okay, Martinelli's coming in. I guess they're going to pull Madueke. But Madueke came in off the bench for Trossard earlier. That'll be a double sub. What are they doing? And I'm going, no, they're pulling Saka, he had a good game, but he was missing a little bit of sharpness. He had a couple opportunities for a sharp, perfect pass. Didn't get there. It was just off. He had a shot to drill one in the back of the net, was just off. And I felt like he did a great job running their defense ragged. So then we bring in Martinelli, and Madueke goes to his favored right side. And Madueke is playing very well on the left, but he is a different animal when he's out on the right. This is a great problem to have, because we get Madueke in there, get him used to the game, get him used to the tempo of the game, get the defenders used to him on that left side. Then all of a sudden you switch them. That guy thinks he's getting a break, but we throw on Speedy Gonzalez Martinelli out there, and then we put Madueke on the right, who's twinkle toes over here and loves running at players. Not to mention bringing Calafiori on for MLS, which, I wasn't sure that he was a locked-in starter over Miles Lewis-Skelly in the league for every match the way he has been, but he showed it there. Within 10 minutes, he had assisted a goal. He had 2 clearances off the ball in our box, or in their box, when we were defending and they were attacking. I don't know why I can't say that. But anyway, great way. Ends up finishing 3-1. We show that we are the top team in Europe right now. We're the only undefeated team in the Champions League. Everyone else has lost. So we're the only team to win 5 out of 5. I'm happy with that so far. Let's keep it going. But that brings up this weekend. That brings up Chelsea. So now we got to go to Stamford Bridge to end this hell of a week. A week that a lot of people were thinking, like, I'm very afraid of this week. I'm afraid of the North London Derby, Bayern Munich midweek, and then away at Chelsea. This is a week where we could drop back down into the pack of people who are chasing us in this week. And we could drop in points in the Champions League. We probably would still be fine. But it would still hurt the momentum that we have. So now we're sitting here 6 points ahead, 29 points to 23 for Chelsea. But that means with City and everybody else dropping points this past week, that means that this match right here, if we lose this, we will only be 3 points ahead of Chelsea. So all the people saying Arsenal are favorites, it's Arsenal's, they're going to win the league, they're going to win the league. I'm saying pump your brakes. We've been ahead by, 8-10 points at one point with only a month or so to go, and City caught us and beat us. So relax. This is telling us a whole lot about who Arsenal are and who Chelsea are. If Chelsea get blown away by Arsenal, it could tell us that, yeah, Arsenal are the best team in the league, and it is their league. There's nobody else really competing with them right now. If it's a tight game, a draw, what it says is Arsenal are still fine, but Chelsea might actually be real contenders. Everyone should actually be talking about Chelsea instead of Man City and Liverpool. Liverpool, I don't think we're talking about anymore. So Or Chelsea could win and Arsenal could lose, and it could be maybe see Arsenal showing some bottling mentality. They had a rough week. They couldn't see it through. They could have had a great week, but they Arsenaled it, they bottled it, and they lost that match, and now they're only 3 points ahead, and Chelsea are now looking like real contenders. So it's a tricky week, and I look forward to discussing it with some of y'all. But since we are going to talk about Liverpool as well, Liverpool being in a crisis, but since there are so many Leeds United fans in the audience, I don't want to ignore you guys. Jimmy Bremer's Ghost, member for 55 months. Fark Trump, I don't know what that means. John, member for 21 months. Big up. Yeah, let me know. John says Arsenal 2-1. That's a solid shout. That's a solid shout right there. I think it's going to be a very, very tough game. I do think Chelsea are playing pretty well, and they're coming together. Enzo Maresca has been able to implement his style a bit and not be reliant on Cole Palmer, who has been out, but Cole Palmer is back this week. We don't know if he'll start, if he'll come off the bench, whatever. But yeah. So let's talk about Leeds United a little bit. I know we got a lot of Leeds United guys in the house. Guys, put in the comments right now, how are you feeling with the Leeds United situation right now? I think, John, do you have the form chart? Does that have their... No, it doesn't. The run of form of Leeds United. Yeah, so you guys, Leeds United, yeah, you've won 1 in the last 5. You've dropped 3 in a row. Ugh. That's just, after having such a great start to the season, that I thought you guys were going to be clear, safe. What is going on right now? You have moments where you play very well, and then you have moments where you just give it all away. I thought you guys were up on Aston Villa, and you guys were actually playing very well, owning the midfield. And then a free kick, yeah, it was a good free kick. It was a dumb foul to give away. But then you gave away the game. The rest of the match, you sort of just didn't have it. Is this all down to Daniel Fark? Are you guys calling for his head yet? Jimmy, I want to know, are you calling for Fark's head? I know you said Fark Trump, only good thing the guy ever done was draw scum versus Leeds in 92. I don't know when that was. John says the journey is better than the destination. Get me back to the championship. At least we won't get battered every week. Well, why do you think you're getting battered every week? Because you've put up some good performances. You know? I don't really understand it. And yeah, I guess I'll have to wait till Mr. Tom gets on or Ben, and he can tell me what's going on with Leeds United. So let's go. Here we go. Jimmy says, Fark in for now. Most seasons, a newly promoted team having 11 points after 12 games would be good going. This season is shaping up to be an anomaly. Yeah. John, can you put the table up again? Let's go to the next page. Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. We're less than a third into the season right now. And if we just tripled everybody's points, that would mean 2 relegation teams would have gotten into 30 points. And usually 30 points, you're all right to stay up. So this is an anomaly. But if you look at it, you're only 8 points away from, like, Liverpool, which is just insane. John, go to the first page again. And you're very... I mean, you're 8 points away from ninth place over Tottenham. This is insane. And poor Mark,
7 points.
7 points. Well, I mean, yeah, eight. I guess 8 would. Jesus,
They-
8 could take you up tied for 6th. This season is shaping up to be an anomaly. I agree with you, Jimmy. 3 wins, we could be in the playoffs. Yeah. Bad recruitment for a start. Why we got Barno, I don't know who that is beyond me. And Fark should be playing to Piro's advantages. We all know he can score. Possibly. I don't know who Barno is, but oof. Yeah, that's tough. Well, I don't know how to help you there, so we'll wait and see if Mr. Tom shows up, and we'll let him discuss Leeds United. Let's get back to well, I was gonna say the top of the table, but no, back to the middle of the table, guys. What is going on? Sorry, they're on the second page. Liverpool, guys, what is going on with Liverpool? Leave that for a second, because they've got 6 wins, no draws. That's insane. No draws and 6 losses. They have. Oh my God. That is insane. And I think they won their first 5 games or something like that. So they're on a 1-6. That can't be true. That can't possibly be true. Is that actually true? It is. Oh my God. Yeah. So guys, our Liverpool are in a crisis. This is not even a question right now. But do you all think that Arne Slot could get fired if they lose this weekend to who are they playing? West Ham. If they lose to Lawrence's West Ham, oh my God, he won't shut up if that happens. But that would be very funny. If Liverpool loses to West Ham, do you guys think Arne Slot is gone Monday morning? He's looking for a new job. What do you all think about that? Personally, I think he deserves it at that point. Something is deeply, deeply wrong within the club, and you're showing that you cannot. Jeez. Oh my God. That's insane. That is just insane. And then watching a midweek as well, and they lost to PSV. They gave up 4 goals. They gave up 4 goals to PSV Eindhoven. Insanity there. Here's my thing. Liverpool aren't like Chelsea. They're not the type to just get rid of. There you go, John. Fark and Slot get sacked and Slot to Leeds. And Fark to Liverpool. He might steady the ship a little bit. Liverpool aren't like Chelsea. Chelsea, who you lose 4 or 5 matches in a row, it doesn't matter if you won the Champions League the previous year, you're gone. They did it to Jose Mourinho twice. And they've done it other times as well. Liverpool, however, I feel like they haven't sacked a manager in forever. I feel like their managers leave on their own accord eventually after doing well or possibly not. But I don't see Liverpool firing Arne Slot. I just don't see it happening. And I'm cool with that. I would like him to stay. The same way I want Ruben Amorim to stay. The same way that I want Fark to... Not Fark. The other guy. Frank Thomas Frank to stay. I think they're doing great jobs keeping everybody right in the middle. But I don't think Liverpool fire Arne Slot. I think him winning the Premier League for them is enough to give them faith that he will be able to turn it around. So, and I mean, Jesus, they have the players. You can't even say, well, they need to sign somebody in January. They do not. Their players are just not performing because something's wrong with the club. Something's broken inside the club. When you see Virgil van Dijk making horrendous mistakes and immediately yelling at Konate about where he was. So it's Konate's fault that Van Dijk had to make a horrible mistake, sort of a thing. That's not what you want from your captain, and that's usually not what you get from Virgil van Dijk. So if you see all that going on, and you see Mo Salah blanking left and right, Isak blanking, just look at the players they have on the pitch. Isak, Salah, Hakpo, Gravenberch, McAllister, all these very, very good football players, and they're not able to get anything done from it. Did you see Bamford get his first goal for the Blunts? I did, and I was waiting for him to slide or something and pull a hamstring. I was like, wouldn't that just be beautiful? Sorry, Patty. I don't know. So what does Liverpool do? They stick it out with Slot? Do they sack him? Which is something that they don't really do. And who is out there right now that they could get? I don't know because I mean, there's always the Jurgen Klopp thing, but he says he's not coming back. But then he said the only way he would come back was to Liverpool, which probably because he thought that would never happen. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Arne Slot should be sacked? Do you think he'll be given tons of time? Yeah. Anyway. All right, so yeah, and then Jimmy says if Leeds have to have an ex-Liverpool manager, then please let it be Klopp. Yeah. At least Slot knows how Pirlo plays. Yeah, that would be an advantage. Well, guys, we could start making this happen. We could start a petition to get Arne Slot just to do a swap. A Fark Slot. Doesn't sound good. A Slot Fark swap? A swap Slot Fark? I feel like I'm having a stroke. Never mind. We won't start that petition. Yeah, that didn't work. All right. Well, we're still waiting for people to join us backstage. We had an unfortunate incident with Mark. Moving on. Yes, moving on. So, I mean, if I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about, then I'm going to talk about Arsenal. The difference this season that I see with Arsenal that is giving everyone as fans a little sense of calm and relaxation and trust is that for once, when we substitute people from off the bench, it's not a downward movement. It's not a, shoot, okay, well, this guy will steady the ship and hopefully we don't lose from here. Nowadays, or this season, when we make a substitution, it's just like changing one of your weapons in your arsenal. Well, there you go. Changing one of your weapons in your arsenal that is just as good, but something slightly different. Changing a sniper rifle for a rocket launcher, something like that. And when you see the likes of Gabriel Martinelli and Madueke coming in off the bench, you see it in their face. Martinelli's been like a caged dog that we just sit there and we say, you're going to play. Just get mad. And we can walk by and we smack the cage and we get him all mad and angry. And then we unleash him on tired legs at the 70th minute of the match and throw balls in over the top. Why not? It's another way to score goals. And I got mad at Kimmich because I thought Kimmich played a pretty good game. Then we just were able to take care of him. Kimmich from Bayern Munich, but then he comes out with a tweet saying like somebody asked him if Arsenal were the best. It wasn't a tweet; it was an interview that he did. Somebody asked him if Arsenal were the best team that they've gone up against this season, and he said, "No, I think PSG were." Because it was more of a football match. This was, Arsenal, they're very good at set pieces, and then they just kick the ball over the top. And I was like, excuse me, the only way you guys scored was with a ball over the top that you kicked. That was your only real opportunity. Not to mention, you guys kicked the ball over the top nonstop throughout the game because you couldn't get through our midfield. Declan Rice was hounding you. You're probably still having nightmares about Declan Rice coming up behind you. Somebody hands you a sandwich, and you go to grab it, and you're like, oh, Dec's about to take it from me, because he is. So you guys were kicking the ball over the top, which just, I feel like he's continuing that storyline of Arsenal can only score off of set pieces. It's not Arsenal can only score off of set pieces. It's Arsenal are very, very good at set pieces. And they're complaining about a foul that may be called in the Bundesliga, but it isn't called in the Premier League, and so it might get called in the Champions League, but maybe, we don't know. And it didn't get called. A slight nudge, and Neuer pushed him right back. Fucking football. Yes, we can score off of set pieces. We have guys who do their jobs. You have tape. We do the same exact thing every time that we score. Same 3 or 4 techniques that we use. Go watch that. Stop us from doing that. Stop complaining about it. And then we score from open play, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, those are fine. Those are fine. We score 4 from open play against Tottenham. No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And then, so, yeah. So we're either boring Arsenal, set piece FC, can't score from open plays, and yet I'm having a blast watching this. I don't know about you guys. There's no boring Arsenal for me. Every match I watch, well, because we're winning, and the only one I didn't get to watch was the Sunderland one, so now I will be watching every single match. But at least I didn't get to see the Sunderland one because I was at the Radiohead concert, which was fantastic. Cheers to them. So, same old Arsenal, always cheating. No. Go for it, John. I think it's a good time for...
Is that 20?
Here you go, Moss.
Right, Harry, did you see that ludicrous display last night?
What was Wenger thinking, sending Walcott on that early?
The thing about Arsenal is they always try and walk it in.
That is true. See you later, Moss.
Well, there you go.
What was that?
What?
You were saying football things in a football voice. How do you know about football things?
Oh, it's this new site. It basically sends you a list of football phrases that you can use in normal...
Yep, same old Arsenal trying to walk it in. And I think, to be honest, the reason we show that clip all the time and we keep it here in the chamber there is because that has been so true for so long that it is the problem with Arsenal is that they try to walk it in. That is what I'm afraid of with this season is if we do have a good lead going towards the tail end of the season, we may try to walk it in. I don't think this team is that way, but the history of Arsenal, at least in the past 20 years or so, has been to try to walk it in and then getting caught. That's why we bottle things at times. So hopefully Arsenal don't do that. But I finally have somebody else to talk to. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk. So for our next segment, I think we'll probably talk a little Leeds United with Mr. Tom.
Oh, wait, that was my entrance. Okay.
Hello, Mr. Tom. How are you?
Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Hello, Lolo. How are you doing? Hello, Director John.
Doing very good.
Hello, Thomas.
So what's up, Tom? So I've been talking about Arsenal, Liverpool, and Leeds United, but I realized I don't feel like I have the right to speak about your team as much because I don't watch them as much as you do. I try to catch them as much as I can. But can you tell me what's wrong with Leeds United right now? Like why?
Well, this is gonna sound really strange, but defensively, we're not as bad as it looks. We've only conceded 5 shots on goal from defensive errors, and from that, only 2 of those have led to goals. But so the problem is actually quite obviously that we don't score enough goals to offset that. We don't, in my opinion, we don't get enough shots. We definitely don't get enough goals. As seen, like basically every team has outscored us apart from Wolves. That is
Yeah, that's a problem.
ideal, is it? So in terms of what has gone wrong, goals have gone wrong because obviously.
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at that. You guys are exactly 11 and 22. You're losing 2-1 every time. Even if you average that out, that is not good enough. So, but do you blame that on your defenders being poor, or is it instances where they just so happen to be out of position because maybe they were attacking too much, or what? Like, why are you giving up these goals? Are they stupid or are they just brilliant goals?
For the most part, we can see, like for example, the Villa goal, the free kick was brilliant. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the reality is that goal doesn't go in if Joe Rodon jumps on the free kick. Now people go, well, why does that matter? It's like, well, why have you got Brendan Harrison laid down behind him on the floor if he's not going to jump anyway? Because why not just stand there?
Yeah, usually when you have a, what do they call it, a draft excluder,
Yeah,
that means you're jumping. So you jump.
yeah. And if he leaves his feet, that goal doesn't happen. People could say what they will about Perry in goal, who was poor, but that shouldn't have even got into a situation where he has to make a difference. He didn't, but that's not the point. If Joe Rodon jumps, he heads it away.
Now he's been pretty good though, Joe Rodon. So like, hasn't he?
He made a great tackle in that game, but again, we're in the Premier League. If you're not perfect all game, you're probably going to get punished for it.
Yeah. It looked like you guys were going to score a ton. At the beginning of the Villa game, you guys were playing very well, I thought. You got the early goal, and then it seemed like you guys were on them, and you were dominating the midfield. Didn't you go into the half 1-0?
That's true. It felt like one of these, I could totally be wrong, but it felt like if Villa didn't score in the first 5 minutes after the half time, they probably weren't going to score.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Longstaff is out for weeks? Why?
No
What
idea.
happened to him? He got 4 red cards for slapping a teammate. Side note. What do you think about that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Not Crystal Palace, the Everton Man United. Was it Gay that smacked Seamus Coleman, his own teammate?
He smashed Michael Keane, wasn't it?
Oh, Michael Keane. Slapped him in the face, and he got sent off for a red card.
Yeah.
With a red card for smacking someone in the face.
Yeah, smacking someone you shouldn't smack someone on a football field, even if you play for your own team.
What do you think? Like, what is it? To me, like when they show the replay of it. What's funny to me is watching, like, I think Mbomo or somebody, Man United player, walking in the background of the red card happening, and he's like just walking back into position, and then he sees the red card come out, and he's just like, wait, what? Like, what? There's nothing happening right now. Like, we're like about to restart the game. There was no foul. There was no, what? Imagine just all of a sudden, oh yeah, the other team got a red card for what? It doesn't matter. It wasn't against us. How?
I mean, what I find shocking about it is such a needless red card. Just don't hit your own teammate, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Like the taking your shirt off thing. Don't get mad about a yellow card. Just don't fucking take your shirt off, Richarlison. Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was crazy.
I mean, like I say, I understand why it happened. I'm not against it. The fact of the matter is, if one of my players was stupid enough to hit another one of my players, then he deserves to be punished for it.
Yeah.
But I just the real telling thing in that is, why didn't Michael Keane go down holding his face? Because his teammate did it. If someone from Man United had hit Michael Keane in the face like that, he'd have gone down like he'd been killed.
Absolutely he would have.
But because it's his own teammate did it, it's like, because he did, so he'd get sent off for it. So what? I'm not going to go down.
Yeah, and now there's all immediately after, like, somebody found this moment where Arsenal scored a goal, and we're all like we're all like, most of the team is in the box. They're all celebrating, and Declan Rice just goes like, yeah, as William Saliba is running to go join the group, and he kind of goes, yeah, and Saliba runs and like skips and smacks him in the face, but then keeps going to celebrate. And I'm like, see, he wasn't sent off for that. But I think that comes down to intent. There was no malicious intent.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we were talking about with Leeds United. Do you find that it's more of a player problem, or is it a Daniel Farke problem?
I mean, every Leeds fan is just going to want me to sit here and basically go, Daniel Farke is the reason for JFK. So, but the reality is that basically Daniel Farke can only do so much, and the buck stops for him. But at the same point, why is he making changes in the 70th minute as a rule? Like, your players are clearly tired, because the intensity that we ran at in that first half, they were going to get tired very quickly in that second half, and he just wasn't on it, in my opinion, to go. It shouldn't have took the second goal for him to throw Daniel James on, in my opinion. Just
now, is that actually his position? He doesn't change anybody out until the 70th minute, or that's just a trend?
Generally, because obviously keep in mind, when Leeds were winning in the Championship, his substitution tactics were more time-wasting ones. In terms of, like, if Leeds were winning in the Championship, he'd wait until like the last. He'd probably throw one on in the 70th, but then in like the 85th, he'd then start doing his changes between 85 and 90, purely to kill the clock more than anything. So in the Premier League, when you're not necessarily doing the changes to kill the time, it's become more of a, Dan, you actually need to do things to try and affect the result. And I don't think he's quite doing that very well at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't realize Dan James didn't come on till that late because it seemed like you needed a bit of a spark, and if Daniel James is one thing, he's a spark because he runs his ass off. But yeah, so are you do you think Fark is in danger of losing his job?
Oh, he's definitely in danger of losing his job based on just because considering the fixture list we've got coming up, he's going to take loss after loss after loss. And I don't think I'm being defeatist to say that because he ultimately just look at the fixtures we've got coming up and it's not looking great.
Yeah. Would you be down for...
I'll work on that right now.
Actually, he brought on Daniel James in 71, apparently. So Villa scored back 4 minutes after that. So I was wrong on that one. But generally, though, 70th minute is when he makes his changes, and that's not good enough for a lot of Leeds fans.
Now, would you, if this weekend... Now, it would be insane for him to be sacked after losing to Man City because clearly you're not expected to win this weekend. But if he got fired and West Ham beat Liverpool and Arne Slot got fired, would you be open to a switch? Just straight swap. Fark for Slot. Fark Slot swap.
Well, Slot wouldn't even entertain the thought of managing Leeds United.
I think that's more of his level.
Even though his level is winning the Premier League.
Yeah.
I
No,
would love to see Daniel Fark managing Liverpool just to see what happened, personally. But
his level is taking a team that he didn't put together and turning them into something good. It's like I'm really good at going into somebody else's kitchen, finding a bunch of crap that they have, and putting together a really nice meal. But anytime I go to the store, I'm like, I have no ideas. Like, okay, I buy all these really great ingredients, and then I'm like stuck because they're too nice. And I don't know, I can't put them together right. But if I'm limited, I can do some really good stuff. And maybe that is his level. You know what I mean?
yeah, my fear with sacking him is basically we could well end up in a situation where we sack him, bring in someone else, and then they don't work out either. And then we end up back in the Championship where we sit there thinking, really could have done with Daniel Fark about now.
Yes. So do you wait? Do you wait it out? Expecting to get relegated?
Well,
That's a shitty way to go about 2/3 of the season.
To be fair, that's what Norwich did the first time they got promoted with him. But then they basically thought, oh, the second time he gets back, which he did. He got him back in. But then it was more the same. And then they got rid of him permanently, sort of thing.
Yeah, there's only so much Pookie power you can get with Norwich. Hi, Deb the Zebra. Good to see you again. She says Fark will go. How's Mark? Mark is okay. He's recovering from a little injury. I'm sure he'll tell you all about it when he's back. We had to substitute him tonight with nobody for the first half hour. It was a last minute substitution. So, but otherwise he's doing all right. Mark and I spent a week in Miami last week, which was crazy, fun. But yeah. Oh my God, that's your schedule?
Yep.
You're dead. Oh man, if you got 3 results, I'd have to write a poem about how Leeds United gave Arsenal the league. If you could get 3 straight results, draws are fine with me, man.
If we could get 3 draws out of that, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be thrilled.
Over the moon, because then you would take in some momentum. Because even Palace is tough, man. Palace, I think they've given up 9 goals. They've only given up 9 goals. That's damn good, man. And I know 3 of them were in one game. Crystal House.
So, Deborah Zebra, what do you make of Wolves' start to the Premier League season?
Yeah, Wolves. Wolves can't buy a win. It's making Mark a little grumpy. But to give you a little insight on where Mark's head is at with Wolves, we talked a lot about it this past week when we were together. And Mark says that he doesn't want Wolves to win a single game this season. He wants them to be the Vincibles. He wants them to go vincible and at least have a record that will never be beaten. Because this season is just garbage. So, wow, she says you can get 7 points out of that. Please get 7 points out of that.
If we got 7 points out of that, I'd go and buy a lottery ticket. Not that it's in any way relevant, but still. So much I don't expect it to happen, but whatever happens, happens. We've all got more important shit to worry about than other people playing football.
No, it's just basically Arsenal right now for me. Just kidding. Just kidding, family. What do you think about Arsenal right now, Mr. Tom? Do you think about Arsenal?
I try not to. Obviously, you're a very good football team, and you seem to have mastered the art of scoring goals and not conceding them, which is basically completing football.
Yeah.
But you can only officially complete football in May.
Yeah. It's a long time to go. Long time to go. Deborah says, you sack Fark, Wolves sack Edwards, we have Fark, then we're back up. Fark, Parker, Darker. Yeah. Did you watch any of the Champions League matches?
I haven't watched a Champions League match since 2001.
Why not? They're fun. You have no stake in the game. Yeah, well, there you go.
In all seriousness, football is boring, I find it at the moment, because of course I'm going to find it boring. My team isn't doing well.
Have you talked to James at all lately? Lolo?
Nope.
I'm just, because I texted him for Thanksgiving, but he didn't respond. I was just curious how he's doing.
Nope, we should reach out.
Yeah.
And say, tell him to get back on the show. Well, after Leeds get 7 points from the next 3 matches, maybe he'll come on. So, Mr. Tom, let's go through the schedule this week, and we'll give our predictions, and everybody in the audience can give their predictions as well. Let's start with Brentford-Burnley. I think you would want a Brentford win there.
I want a Brentford win, but I've predicted...
Yeah, Brentford win.
Yeah, I've predicted Brentford 2, Burnley 1.
Brentford 2, Burnley 1. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the same. I like that Igor Thiago kid on Brentford. It looks like they found another little gem after losing Mbomo and Visa. But yeah, he's a good little player. All right, what do you guys say in the audience? Brentford versus Burnley. We'll move on to Man City versus Leeds United. Man City, you guys going that little trek up to Manchester or sideways to Manchester?
Yeah. It's going to be a fun afternoon. It's not going to be a fun afternoon.
Yeah.
3-1 Leeds. Come on, have some
There you go.
balls.
Yeah, I'm going with Jimmy here. Jimmy says City 1, Leeds 2. That sounds good to me. I'm going with that. There's your first 3 points out of the 7.
I've gone with 7-7.
7-7 draw. I would take that.
They have an NFL team?
All right, Sunderland, Bournemouth.
I like how Jimmy's gone shock Leeds win, but he's not shocked me by referencing the other shock Leeds win.
Which one is that?
The one you made a poem about, sir.
Yep. That was City at the Etihad. Every time Wolves won, I had a takeaway and 8 cans. If they lose, I had nothing. I would like to thank Wolves for keeping me fit. I've lost 2 stone and don't drink anymore. Well, there you go. There's that. It's better than that kid who hasn't cut his hair since Man United until Man United wins 5 in a row. So you don't mean City 11 Leeds 2? No, I mean City 1 Leeds 2. Put it in the book. Sunderland, Bournemouth. Let's go Sunderland, Bournemouth. I think Sunderland have been pretty good, and Bournemouth are on a bit of a slide, especially with Semenyo out last week and possibly out this week. I think Sunderland can do something here. I think this will be a 3-2. Lots of goals in this game.
I've gone with 1-1.
1-1. It'll probably be 1-0 because I said 3-2. But 1-0 Sunderland? To you, sir? Cool.
Maybe.
Everton, Newcastle.
I've gone 1-1 again. Everton 1, Newcastle 1.
That's what I've got as well. 1-1. Everton's going to take in a little bit of energy from that crazy-ass win that they had. But yeah, 1-1. Newcastle is one of these weird up-and-down teams as well. Who knows which one of them will show up. Spurs at home, Fulham.
I've got Spurs 2, Fulham 1.
No. I'm saying 3-1 Fulham. Spurs are bad at home. They're on a bad streak right now.
Fulham are bad everywhere, apart from if they play Leeds.
Yep, but it's a London derby. I think, I just can't go for Spurs. Sorry. 3-1. And I think Emil Smith-Rowe will score. And Iwobi. Because they're Arsenal. Palace, Man United. Like I said, Palace are doing pretty well. They're not letting in tons of goals. They're at home. They're going to be up for this match.
I've gone for the Desmond. Palace 2, Man United 2.
That's good. I don't think Man United get the second one. I have 2-1 Palace. All right, Villa Wolves. Villa are doing a bit better. I think, yeah, that I have 2-0.
I've gone Villa 3, Wolves 1. Sorry, Dad.
Oh. There you go. Sorry, I was reading all those comments as they were flying by. Jimmy, 4-0 Villa over Wolves. Deborah says Villa are going to bottle it against Wolves. Pincushion says 2-0 Villa. There you go. Good thing I didn't cancel Paramount Plus. Me neither. All right, Nottingham Forest, Brighton. Nottingham Forest have been doing a little bit better, haven't they?
They have, unfortunately.
Where are they? Yeah, I think they're on a little bit of a run.
I've got Forest to win this 2-1.
Yeah, Forest had a draw and 2 wins their last 3 matches after losing a bunch. But I think Brighton get this one. I think it's going to be 1-0 Brighton. What's up, Gary?
I believe Paramount Plus shows the championship, Ian.
Shows the championship and the Champions League for us. Well, in the States. All right, West Ham, Liverpool. Can Liverpool end the bleeding, stop the bleeding, or do they get their first draw of the season, which is insane?
Well, I've got that game to finish 2-2. Another Desmond.
Another Desmond. That does sound very, very plausible.
It feels very Desmondy.
Yeah, unfortunately, well, hopefully you're right. I think that the deadlock gets broken and Liverpool sneak away with a 3-2 win when it looks like it's going to end 2-2, and they sneak one out in the end there. Desmond. All right, Chelsea, Arsenal.
I've gone for the World Club Champions 1, Arsenal 2.
Wow. Thank you for that, Tom. 5:30? Why do you have 11:30 on there? It's at 11:30 for you, John? I have it at 5:30 for me.
6-hour difference, right?
Oh, shit, yeah. Sorry. I don't know how time works, or numbers, or math.
That's why they call it dope.
Yeah, that's why they call me a dope. Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough match. This is going to be a very, very tough match. I'm hoping for a good game of football. But I really wonder what Chelsea are going to do, because most teams who have come up against us this season sit back and try to not let us just go balls to the wall against them. Chelsea don't seem like the type of team to do that. I think we're going to see them come at us the way they came at Barcelona. And they could get an early goal that way because we're not so used to that. However, that's a deadly way to play against Arsenal, because we can get through you if you don't have everyone in the back. So I think Chelsea take an early lead, and it's weird for Arsenal, and then we end up winning 3-1. 3-1 Arsenal is my final answer. 3-1. Well, That's it. That's it for our predictions for that show. So if you want to play some bets on those, please don't. Unless you want to be a millionaire and then place all of mine because they will be 100% correct.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
Not quite. Not quite. But thank you, Tom, for joining me. That was a lot of fun talking with you. Thank you, everybody who was in the comments section. And thank you, Director John, for all your help as well. Tom, I know you just got done doing like 4 hours of WrestleMania action. How was your wrestling show today? Mr. Tom Talks Wrestling.
Yes.
Which one did you do tonight?
We did the 1990 Royal Rumble, and it was good fun.
Who won?
The man who always wins, of course. Hogan wins, LOL.
Hogan wins. Well, all right. Don't forget to watch Mr. Tom's show every Friday night. And Gary's show as well just popped up here. Don't forget to watch The Road Trip. Mr. Tom is always on there as well with Gary. And yeah, I hope you guys win this weekend. I really, really do. And I hope the rest of your teams lose except for Arsenal. So have a good night. We'll see you next week. Peace.